Welcome back, friends, to more Lord of the Rings Online. Quick note, the last 3 episodes, including this one, were recorded a little bit out of order. So episodes 851, 852, and 853. The problem was I did the instance in the previous episode before I was supposed to chronologically. I didn't know at the time. So I'm trying to make sure that the story is progressing chronologically. So I kind of changed up the orders a little bit, did a little bit of editing. Most of you won't even notice, but I figured I'd bring it up because some of you may notice small little details. Like my quest panel here will have some quests that I've already completed in the previous episodes. But that's the reason. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue for you. Sorry about that. Let's get on with the episode. So I can take the pony here. The Great Company has come to Pelennor, and they make safe the ruin of Pel Duvan. Let me look at the map. So now I'm all the way over here, and you can see that the Mordor armies are retreating. We're securing the city. Everything is looking up.
Dark skies and rain times.
The sun shines through the darkened skies of Mordor. We shall be victorious on this day. Have you seen that some of the enemy's numbers flee the battle?
We all must do what we can, mustn't we?
The orcs are fleeing. Still, there are many of the enemy that stand their ground. We must now go and see this battle through. I shall meet you in Minas Tirith when the fighting has waned.
We meet once again.
And in battle, we were born on the wind, and I held the unfurling of my standard for the very last moment. I knew the sight of the black sails must cause despair to rise in the hearts of the city's defenders, but I hoped to catch the enemy off guard in the confusion that followed the banner's unfurling. And so it was. The white tree is for Gondor, but it was surrounded by 7 stars and with a crown above, and they are for Elendil. That sigil has not been seen by the forces of Mordor for a great many years, and seeing it again must fill them with fear and confusion.
Some of the orcs lie in wait, feigning death.
We disembarked on the Harlon and came to the ruins of this farm to establish a foothold on the Pelennor. The battle had already swept through this area and left many bodies behind, and now it proceeds on the outskirts of the ruins. This battle tide has had a regrettable effect, Kippen, for not all of the bodies that litter the farm are truly dead. Some of the orcs lie in wait, feigning death, and some spring to surprise the unwary. We have already suffered some injuries from these play-acting corpses. Examine some of the bodies and ensure that they are truly dead. It will not do to suffer any more losses from these treacherous ambushers. Okay. Let me look for some bodies. The orc snarls and a challenge and leaps to his feet. What am I doing? Examine slain orc. Doesn't tell me how many. I already killed that one. The orc died of his wounds, as it seemed.
Curse of orcs. They should have the decency to stay dead.
There's Radonir. Yeah, I don't know. I've already looked at these. I don't know if I looked at this one. Then this one here. This orc is not feigning death. Anymore. Maybe that one. This orc is truly slain. Alright, I think now we can proceed.
I was wounded not long after we arrived. Cowardly corpse.
Some orc was pretending to be dead, and he leapt up and gave me a good slice with his serrated blade. I repaid him in kind, but I will live and he will not. There he lies and pretends no more. Dark-hearted villain, cowardly corpse. You hear a great commotion coming from the northwest. Coronir is shouting at a frightened Gondorian man, and Halbarad seeks to restrain him.
Easy, Coronir. Let the man have some room.
Control yourself, my friend. Halbarad sees you approach and calls to you quickly. Kippen, I could use your help learning what has transpired. Coronir is beside himself with anger, and I fear what he might do if we do not calm him down, and quickly.
This man spews lies, poisonous slander.
We have come to the aid of his city, and he repays us with poisonous and treacherous slander. I would have his head for the things he said. He is lucky that Halbarad stays my hand, or I would put an end to his vile whisperings.
We soon found ourselves fighting back-to-back with these rangers.
I came through the gates onto the Pelennor to fight alongside my brothers and the rest of the city guard, and slew more than my share of orcs and the evil men that fight with them. Great deeds were done, and I dare say we could have had the victory even without the arrival of this man and his ranger kin. But the press of battle moved us hither and thither, until my contingent of soldiers soon found itself back to back with these rangers. We fought against the orcs for some minutes and shared our names as soldiers do. The bond that is formed in battle between men on the same side is a strong one, and blood spilled in battle unites men like nothing else. That is when I learned that I and my brothers were fighting alongside a ranger named Golodir. Golodir. I knew the name well, for had it not been in the conversation of every man in the garrison, hated Golodir, Ranger of the North, and friend of Gothmog, commander of the enemy forces? Yes, it was the very same. Emigil has regained some of his courage and stands tall.
One of them was Golodir, that hated ranger who allied with the enemy.
Well, I made it no secret what I thought of him. I told him that he fought on the wrong side, and that he would find his orc friend elsewhere on the field. I told him that he should do us all a favor and cast himself upon his own sword, and so repent of the dark bond he shares with Gothmog. I tell him the same were he here right now, and regret nothing. When men such as he joins hand with evil ones such as Gothmog, they deserve nothing but the curses of good-hearted soldiers, and that is what he had from us. I do not know where he has gone. He has likely gone to join his friend Gothmog, and do some harm to the city or its defenders. I do not doubt it is so, and if this ranger thinks otherwise, he is a fool.
Lies! All of them! Lies!
Lies, listen to those slanderous lies, Kippen, and tell me that this man should not pay for such vile utterances. You put a hand on Coronir's shoulder and tell him quietly that Gothmog is another name for Mordorith of Angmar, and that you have no reason to doubt that he shares some connection with Golodir as a result of their experiences in Carn Dûm. All of the fight and bluster departs from Coronir then, and he sinks to one knee. Coronir and his anger depart, replaced with a haunted visage.
How can this be? Mordorith was slain, and Golodir was free of him.
He was finally slain. We have to find Golodir, Kippen. These men of Gondor may have worked some tragic mischief with their words, but it might still be prevented. Tell me when you are ready to go, and we will set forth in search of him.
We have to find Golodir before it is too late. We have to find Golodir before it is too late.
Okay. Emigil did not repent for the words he spoke to Golodir, but he did tell me which way he seemed to go. Here, to this encampment of orcs. We may yet find Golodir if we hurry.
Quickly, we may not have much time.
Let's keep going, my friend. Forward. A few more orcs coming in here. I am curious as to what is going on with Golodir. I love how every storyline from all the previous seasons all seem to be converging here on Pelennor. Golodir.
Golodir!
Run away, little man.
I will not run from the like of you.
That is a pity. I could use the sport. I have ended the lives of so many. You will not survive this encounter.
Perhaps not. But I will be satisfied to give my last, removing you and your master from this world!
That was pretty epic.
Golodir, you poor fool.
Foolish? I do not think so, my old friend. I was tormented by Morderith for years. At last I will escape him and go beyond his reach.
Despite his broken body, Golodir smiles at you. I'm sorry guys, I noticed on my recording I was dropping frames during that sequence, so the frame rate lowered there. I do apologize. Not sure what caused that. Alright, let me talk with Golodir. I am satisfied, Kippen. If the Gondorians know of what they speak, then my death will see Morderith defeated. Coronir, my friend. When this war is over, I ask that you ensure safety for Wenda. Golodir is quiet for a long moment. When he finally speaks again, it is for the last time. It is enough for me to die thinking of Lorniel, as I always... Those are his last words. And yeah, I'm still dropping frames on my recording. I can't pause right now because I'm in the middle of an instance, but let me try to finish here. He is gone. I do not know what to do, Kippen. Well, that is pretty sad. We cannot stay here, Kippen. So, we lose another very important member of our adventure here, Golodir. Wow. I'm telling you, this whole season is extremely epic. It's like a giant climax of everything. Golodir's like all the way back in Angmar. That was a long time ago, and now his story arc is finally coming to a conclusion. Very interesting. Alright, sorry, I'm keeping an eye here on my recording and been having issues with this video, been having a lot of frame drops. Okay, let me see, what am I doing here? Battle on the Pelennor field until the day is won, and then I need to return to the Rangers in the ruin of Pelduven, which is where I am right now. Friends gather to remember Golodir, but there is little time to mourn.
It was an honor to call him friend.
Golodir has had his vengeance, and now he will have his rest. None have earned it so well as he. He endured so much in the high chambers of Karn Doom, and in the months since he escaped that city, but he was never free of the false king until today. No man here would have questioned his loyalty. If he chose to remain in the north, each of us would have understood, knowing what he suffered, and knowing that it was enough. But Golodir knew his duty, and did not seek to count it fulfilled by his hardship. Nay, he journeyed with the great company all the same. It was an honor to call him friend. Indeed it was.
My heart desires to mourn Golodir. There is not time for that now.
I will not say that Golodir should not have come on this road, Kippen. I will not shame his memory by wishing that he had stayed behind. It was his duty as he saw it, and he performed it with dignity and without question. He will always have my gratitude. But I keenly feel the sorrow of his loss. My heart desires to mourn Golodir, but I know that there is not time for that now. The battle continues heartlessly, never caring for friends that we have lost. That is one of the cruelest hurts. We must set aside our grief and go on, lest we lose that for which they fought.
I cannot believe he is gone.
I spent so much time on this journey worrying about what he was feeling and worrying about what he had endured that I gave little thought to myself. But now, there's just emptiness. What do I do now? You take Coronir's arm and speak your own quiet words, words of grief, words of comfort, and words of duty. None hear them but Coronir, and when you finish, he nods. You have seen sorrow too, Kippen. I hear it in your words. I will think on what you have said, and I thank you for saying it. But Aragorn is right. The battle rages, and it will not wait for us. Let me go with this medium armor here.
It is time.
What does it mean to fight, Kippen? I will fight to honor the sacrifice of those who can no longer fight, to honor that for which they fought. I will take the field with you, and I will make the enemy remember my fallen friends. Tell me when you are ready, and we will make them fear us.
For Golodir.
Let us take to the field, Kippen, for Golodir.
Fight onward. The battle is not yet ended.
Kippen, I have not seen you since morning, and I fear the worst. We have a brief reprieve for now, but it will not last long. I have seen such horrors, so many good men lost.
There's been so much death today. When will it be over?
I will fight until my chief tells me to stop.
My own king fell on this field, and now I have another.
You will fight for him, I warrant, until this land is made safe? The time for such questions is over, my new friend. Our enemies try another assault.
This young ranger, this Harlos, is able to do duty without questioning it? Did I ever have that strength? I know that it is what is expected of me and I came here to prove it, but if I was more like him, would I be able to fight on this field without regret? It weighs me down, even as I know why I must fight. But so many have died, and still the hosts of Mordor pour onto the plain. I thought I could protect Nona and our child from harm, but I see now that there is no hope of that. There are too many evils arrayed against us. Your limbs are held by a powerful force and you're unable to move.
Did you think the tide had turned? The might of Mordor was not thwarted. It was merely redirected. Kill them all.
Okay. Oh, I'm stunned. They have to fight by themselves. That's not good.
You show great strength of will, but it will not matter.
I'm gonna kill Krugam here. And Harlos died too? Oh no. Everybody's dying, man. That's not good.
My death means nothing. I have inflicted what hurts I could. And that fills me with gladness as I die. Mordor and Sauron.
Krugam has been defeated. Kippen! No, this is horrible, man. All my favorite characters are dying. The two brothers with the Mumakil, Golodir all the way back from Angmar and Carn-Dûm, and now Halros as well. I have a particular affinity with Halros because he was a ranger charged with protecting the Shire. If you recall, I met him way back in the Shire. At least I hope I'm not getting him mixed up, but I'm pretty sure this is the one all the way from season 1. Helping the hobbits, of which my character is one, so I have a particular affinity with him, and it's very sad to see him die as well. I could not move, Kippen. It was fell sorcery and I was powerless. Horn's breath comes raggedly, and there are tears in his eye. Howrell sprang to my defense and took the blows that were meant for me. He died in my place. There was nothing I could do. There is no time to mourn, Kippen. We have to find Aragorn, for I fear he has gotten too far ahead and may become surrounded by his foes if we do not aid him. We gotta keep going. No time to mourn indeed. So much death over the last few episodes. Very iconic characters.
You are a long way from home, Dunedain. Who are these others? And why have you come?
These are my friends and my kin. We have come by dangerous roads to put an end to you and your evil.
I am afraid you have wasted a journey, for I cannot be ended. My will is tethered to the pitiful Ranger Galatir, and to this world. While he lives, I cannot be slain. What is this?
You are a fool, no matter what name you wear.
Explain yourself before you die.
Galatir is slain. He came south to the aid of Aragorn, our chief. He felled the Olog Thrugrath and died.
No! He suffered such grief! How can it be? How did he muster the strength to come forth?
Servant of Sauron, hearken to me. There is no future for you, or for your master. You know my name, and the name of my mighty ancestor. So too do I know yours. But hearken to me, Gothmog, and Mordorith, and Eärnur. I have come out of the years of darkness to defy your master and all for which he stands. Sauron will fall, and Mordor will perish, and you will know the darkness of true oblivion. The dawning of a new age is upon us. Begone, for there is no place in it for such as you. Begone! Halbarad, my loyal friend.
I am glad I was able to see.
Okay, more death. Halbarad has been slain as well. All the Rangers, are you kidding me? There's too much sorrow on this field, Kip, and Gothmog flees and my anger will follow him. But this is not the day that he will pay for the hurts that he has caused us. Too far away to finish. Let us make for the city, Kippen. I have lost too many friends today. I'm a little sad. It feels like the end of an era in this game, you know? Everything has just kind of led up to this.
Yes?
Many have been slain this day, but we fought valiantly. No life lost was in vain. Now the task begins to prepare for what comes next. The fires of Mount Doom still glow from behind the mountains of Mordor. What the Dark Lord has planned, I do not know. But I can say for certain that we must do all within our power to stop his plans.
We have the victory, but it has cost us so much.
The battle is over, save for a few pockets of fighting on the outskirts of Pelennor. Even those will soon be done. We have achieved victory this day, but it has cost us so much.
The city stands, and Gondor remains unbowed.
Things might have gone differently, Kippen, were it not for the many sacrifices. I am weary in both body and spirit, weighed down by sorrow. There is anger too, anger at the forces of evil that have taken so many of our friends from us. But it is the sorrow I feel most strongly at the end of this terrible day. So I have after battle quests here. The Battle of Pelennor Fields is at an end, and Gondor has seen victory on this day. However, the city of Minas Tirith has succumbed to much death and destruction. Imrahil, Prince of Dol Amroth, has summoned you to his side as he begins the task of rebuilding the White City. So there is a lot going on here, lots of quest rings everywhere. I feel like I am getting towards the end of the season here. Let me start with the non-epic quest rings first, and then we'll go from there. I think that's better. Sorry about that, I got a DC, but let's get right back into it.
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
So, this is the great ram that the enemy used to penetrate the gates of the city. It is both impressive and dreadful, a masterwork of the enemy's evil. We could not have defeated the traitor without your aid, my friend. I am gladdened that dear Livtog is avenged, and that another enemy of our people lies broken on the field. Does the light burn in your eyes, Kippen? In our journey to the fields, I had begun to wonder if the skies would ever clear again. Let us hope that it promises better days to come. Yeah, that is indeed grand. Man, that is impressive.
You did very well.
Ah, Kippen, it is good to see you. Here at the battle's ending, Livtog's murderer is slain and the day is won. My brothers and I felled this troll as it made to the gates of the city, but I am afraid my strength is spent. Worry not for me. It is nothing that rest and healing cannot cure. Once we see the rest of the field swept of foes, I shall take a trip to the baths or to a fine bed. When the next battle calls to us, I trust you shall find me fighting by your side. Messed up my reading, so I improvised a little bit.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
What a day this has been, Kippen. Our foes are without end, and yet we triumphed against them. Livtog is avenged, and my brothers and I can now rest without the fear of a traitor lurking among the ranks of our people. Out from the darkness a new dawn has burst forth. But what it shall bring, I know not. A rest is well earned, but we cannot linger long while the enemy contemplates his defeat. Another battle lies just beyond the horizon. I only hope we are prepared. Okay, and then we got the epic here. Let me talk with Horn.
So much death. So many lives lost. And for what?
The armies of Mordor are repulsed for now, but who can say that they will not return? If this victory we bought with all of our dead, good men will no longer return to their homes, and for what? A day of peace, a week? I cannot believe this is so. The Ranger Halros took the death blow that was meant for me, Kippen. I spoke only a few words to him, but now he is dead. Did he leave behind a wife? A child? What chain of events put his feet on the path that ended here in the blood-soaked Pelennor? Is that truly to be the end of his tale? Is this to be the end of mine? Horn wears a haunted expression, his unblinking eyes glazed with tears. He does not seem to see you anymore. I thought I was a man of Rohan, but if this is what it means to be such a man, I cannot bear it. That man is dead. Horn died on the Pelennor. I will cry no tears for him. The old songs are just songs. They were never more than lies. I see the truth now. Talk with Gleowine.
I am saddened to hear Horn speak this way.
I heard his words, and my heart goes out to him, but I am saddened to hear Horn speak thus, Kippen. Where is the man who spoke to me of fighting for home and hearth, and fighting for glory of Rohan and the honor of Theoden King? Where is the man who made the hard choice to leave Nona behind to make her world more safe than it was? But Theoden is dead and many others beside. I no longer recognize the Horn that spoke to me on the ride from Rohan, and assuaged my own doubts. That Horn is dead, slain by the horrors of war, if not by its weapons. I do not want to forget that man, Kippen. I want the world to remember, Lord as I once knew him. I want the world to remember every man who died here. Harding of the Wold, Guthloff, the banner bearer of Theoden, hot-tempered Fastred, and the doughty Grimbold. They will just be names to folk that come after, but to me they were men, good men, who fought and died for the promise that their lands would once be safe. It was that promise that Horn tried to explain to me, but I did not understand it then. I think I understand it now. I will remember the names of the men who died here today. I do not want them to be forgotten. Let me get on my pony, actually. Let me talk with Imrahil.
This is a hard day, but we have victory at the end of it.
During the battle, I encountered men bearing the body of Theoden back to the city. They carried to a woman, Eowyn, niece of the king. They thought her dead, but I perceived that she lived. I sent them to bring her to the healers instead of the dead house. Her life is now in their hands.
Have you seen Deowina?
Kippen, can you tell me if you've seen Deowina? He is a man of Rohan, yellow of beard and hair and pony's tail. I met him during the battle and we fought side by side, but I have not seen him since the early hours of the morning. He tells Sakalvar that Deowina was slain when the Witch King descended upon Theoden. I fear that fate for him, Kippen, but I hoped it would not be so. A loss for Lady Winsig of Rohan. I wish it had been different. I'm glad to have met Deowina and call him friend, though it be but for a few moments during battle. It is cruel of war to make us bid farewell to friends so soon upon meeting them. Duin here is overcome with grief for his sons and pays no mind to your words of comfort.
Who can say how long this victory will last?
The battle is nearly over, Kippen, but who can be certain for how long the victory will last? My uncle and my liege has gone to his fathers, and I rejoice that his last day was filled with glorious deeds. Many beheld the might of the mark upon this day. Elmer grows quiet, and when he speaks again, he speaks in a low voice that only you can hear. I will be king of Rohan now. Is it merely hope's fancy that I believe the curse of Wergand has run and is now ended? Much grief followed in the train of Fengel. His kin died, and his kingdom fell from honor. But Theoden King lifted Rohan once more to the height and mended the might of the mark. Can you say it is not so? Sleep easy, Wergende. You have been paid, and under the rule of Eomer, no such injustice as was done to you will be done again.
Well done! Well done! We have pushed them back for now.
I am just happy to be off the ship, Skippin. I was not made for the sailing life. Indeed, I was still a little queasy for several minutes after we arrived at the field of battle and was not at my very best. The fighting set me right before long, but I hope wherever we go next, the journey will be by land and not by river.
I think Gothmog will find he values his life more highly now that it can be lost.
He will not dare to come forth in battle for some time. During that time, we will need to determine our course of action, but I do not know what is best to do. We need time to heal from our hurts and mourn our dead. We cannot take much time for it, and certainly not as much as they deserve, but still we must. Aragorn smiles wryly. Galadriel saw much of today. I think that our actions and our choices still have meaning. Nothing is set. Your deeds today and those of our fallen friends mean much to me. Thank you for your courage and your loyalty, Kippen. I take neither for granted, and I appreciate them both. It will take both if we are to defy Sauron, as we defied his servant Gothmog and put an end to the evil that he brews in his dark land. I salute you, my friend. Let us heal our hurts. Let us remember our dead. And let us think of tomorrow. There is still much that must be done.
The battle is all but ended now, my friend.
Okay, so we are starting Book 7. Jump astride the horse over there, and it will speed you from these killing fields, taking you to the aftermath of the battle. I will speak to you once again once you have established a pavilion at which I can plan our next step. I do not think it would be right for me to enter the city at this time. That seems like it's going to take me to the start of the next season, March of the King. So we're going to call it an episode here. I'm going to check the quest logs and make sure that I've done everything here. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.